Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today I'm gonna talk to you about some tools that I thought I really needed in my construction business and that I don't really use as much as I thought I would. But I keep them around anyways for those just in case moments. All right, so the first tool I have is this Whole Hog by DeWalt, and it's a really cool tool. It's super torquey. What this thing is designed for is for a short throw, so you can go in between wall studs when you're drilling holes in walls for different applications and purposes. Plumbing and electrical, electricians use these a lot, that kind of thing. So it has a quick chuck adapter right here. And so different bits will fit in here. I think I've got one bit for this. It's like a 2-inch bit. And sometimes we would use this for drilling through joists when we're hooking up different electrical, like low voltage lighting and things like that. But I don't use it as much as I thought I would. So usually we'll just go straight to a drill or something like that. It's a great tool, but it's seldom used on our job site. And it's, you know, it's in pretty good shape still. It's got an E-clutch, that kind of thing. But again, it's just not something I use every day or every week or even every month. I think this thing's been sitting for a while. I probably used this about 6 or 8 months ago. Not really a very well-used tool. The next one I have, this is a power planer, and this is used to shave thicknesses of material. There's a gauge here, you can turn this and you can shave down different thicknesses of material like on joists, different wood products, things like that. And then it exhausts the dust this way. And we used to use this a lot when we were framing a lot of wood decks. We would plane out the tops of some of our joists, right, to shave down a high spot in the deck. Since we've been using so much aluminum lately, we really don't use this tool very much anymore. It's just been sitting in the trailer. Again, a lot of these tools are DeWalt. No particular reason for that, guys. I do have one other brand that I'll show you as well. It's just probably because I own more DeWalt tools than other brands. This video will show you the universal use of these power stack batteries, which are kind of cool. Basically what you do is you choose a thickness with this dial of how much, and what that does is it raises and lowers a plate right here to higher or lower. So that's as high as it goes, so you're almost taking nothing. And it looks like I had it set like this. I want to take a lot out of a particular cut. And then there's 2 blades inside of this cutting head right here that are replaceable, and they're reversible. Those come off with these nuts, and then you can flip them around. There's also an onboard blade carrier right here, which I'm missing the cap for. So I only have 1 blade in here because one probably fell out. It's a great tool when you need it, but we don't really need it that much anymore. So that's what it sounds like. Can be a dangerous tool. Like, you got to keep your hands clear of this area here. This could really mess up any fingers right here. Just be very careful. Okay, so a tool I keep in the trailer, but only use once a year, maybe twice a year. Here's another cool tool that I like, and I want to use it more. I just don't because it has a specific head on it. This is for a 3/8 inch socket head for when you want to like adapt over to a socket where you're doing bolt work or machine bolt work or something like that. It's got forward and reverse. It's got 2 different speeds. And then there's also some settings for different types like lag bolts and machine bolts right here on the head of the drill. So it's a pretty cool drill, but you can kind of see it looks pretty nice. It's still fairly new because we don't use it as much. Let's just say we're removing a lot of lag bolts off a deck. Somebody lagged a ledger to the house. Instead of trying to adapt over a standard impact driver, we can use this drill and just put a 3/8 socket right onto this right here, and then it works great. But it's not very accurate when you want to try to use it for putting in screws or things like that. I've tried to adapt this over and say, man, this drill's almost new. I'd really like to try and use this to install screws. And so I put an adapter on it, put a 1/4 inch bit in it, but it just wobbles too much. Then again, it's like, well, this is only really good for us, for what we're doing, for maybe removing like lag bolts off the side of a house. So that sits quite often. Here's another tool that we don't use very often. I don't think I've used this tool in over a year, is a cordless sander. It's multiple speed, brushless, and I don't even have a piece of sandpaper on it right now. It looks like somebody was trying to sand without a piece of sandpaper, unfortunately. And then there's a dust catcher right here, and it works great. but we don't use it very often. I think the last time we used this was when we did some wood softening underneath the deck and we had to sand out a couple spots, and it worked great for that. So this is something that we keep in the trailer but is not used hardly ever, but it's a good tool. So most of these tools so far that I've shown you have been good, strong running tools. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not really used that much in our line of work. And another one, this is called a concrete vibrator. And we don't pour a lot of concrete anymore. We mostly are using helical piles. But when we do pour concrete and we want to compact it and make sure there's not a lot of air in it, we use this concrete vibrator. And so this one battery was good for all of these tools. You know, you can kind of hear it there. So once this end here gets into something solid, or you can break it, you can just tap it on something. You can kind of hear that vibration will knock down any air bubbles, that kind of thing in your concrete. And it works really good for that. It's good for one thing and one thing only, and that's vibrating concrete. I think we've used it once in the last year. It's a cool tool. It's compact, really. It doesn't take up a lot of space on our trailer, but it's not used every day. And then probably one tool that I don't use and I probably won't use anymore is this Metabo HPT caulking gun. Man, that's really fast. I think that's part of the problem. You can adjust the speed on this, but when you use a caulk gun like this, you can go through so much caulk so fast. It's scary. It's kind of scary. You can kind of pull it back. It's scary how fast this works. So right now I have it on 1 and it's barely moving, but if I put it up to 5, I can exhaust, 6, I can exhaust a tube of caulk in about 30 seconds. Because it pushes it out almost as fast as it's going right now. So you can kind of see, it's a great concept, and maybe it's really good for those products that are really hard to expel when you have something super thick and it's cold out and you're just grinding on it as hard as you can and it's not putting out on a manual caulk gun. But you can see somebody went overboard and they just kept going and just shoved this through the tube and got this whole thing full of gunk. And then I've had to clean it, and it's not even fully cleaned properly, but it still works. It's just, in my opinion, it's probably not something for precision sealant and being able to apply a consistent bead. No, if you need to put a lot of stuff into a spot really quick, this is a great option. Even on 1, it's just going really super slow, but believe it or not, even on 1, it's pretty fast. You gotta move with this thing, and then you hear that. So you start caulking something. When you let off the trigger, it reverses a little bit so that it helps from extra stuff just keep expelling out of the tube. So, but I don't think I've used this gun in 2 years. It could be a great tool if you're gonna use it a lot. I thought I was gonna use this tool a bunch and I just haven't. All right guys, well there's 6 tools that I've purchased in the past that I don't really use very much. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching guys, have a great day.